Hello and welcome to the News Minute. This is News in a Nutshell and I'm Pooja Prasanna. And we begin today's live with some positive news. Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa, who was receiving treatment since the 2nd of August for COVID-19, has finally tested negative. He has gotten discharged from the Banipal hospital where he was receiving treatment the last few days and has now reached his residence where he will in fact be on home quarantine for the next couple of days. In fact, we have been tracking how Yediyurappa, even from his hospital ward, has been working continuously. We've been given to understand that he held daily meetings with officers as well as the ministers, and we've also seen visuals of him scrutinizing documents and signing on official papers, continuously working. And of course, we wish him good health. The 78-year-old Chief Minister finally fighting the corona battle and has now gotten discharged, while former Chief Minister Siddaramaiah continues with his treatment in Manipal Hospital. The second story that we are tracking is the Idukki slide tragedy that took place in Kerala a few days ago. Now, the death toll has unfortunately gone up to 49, and of the lot who passed away in this very, very tragic incident, there are 6 officials from the Forest Department of Kerala government, and while majority of the people who passed away were workers of that tea plantation, 6 forest officers too have lost their lives, and there is a search on for 30 more people who are even now currently missing. The NDRF, police personnel and also the Forest Department have continued with their search. It is a very, very tough terrain, a very tricky terrain with rains and also rough terrain and slides continuously taking place. They are continuing with their search operations. The third story that we're tracking today is that of Hindi imposition. The row once again erupted after DMK MP Kanimozhi took to Twitter yesterday morning, where she went on to narrate that at the Chennai airport, the DMK MP was asked by a CISF personnel if she was even Indian because she did not speak Hindi. Now, this once again started the debate of is Hindi being imposed on states, particularly where Hindi is not spoken predominantly, particularly states like in South and also the Northeast, and several leaders, even politicians, have started coming out and sharing their own experiences of how they felt discriminated against for not being able to speak in Hindi fluently. Of course, Twitter has also been fairly divided, with a lot of people from the South coming out and saying that this is something we have to fight against at every level. Non-Hindi speakers are being discriminated against, and also there has been a lot of counter with people saying that there is no imposition. It is just easier if people speak Hindi. Now, we have put out all views and we have put out opinion pieces as well as analysis and the latest updates on this on our website, thenewsminute.com. We will quickly also read who said what on this issue. Former Home Minister, Union Home Minister P. Chidambaram from the state of Tamil Nadu has also gone on to share his experience, where he says that he too was discriminated during his tenure as the Home Minister. I read what he put out on Twitter. P. Chidambaram went on to say the unpleasant experience of DMK MP Kanimozhi at the Chennai airport is not unusual. I too have experienced similar taunts from government officers and ordinary citizens who insisted that I speak in Hindi during telephone conversations and sometimes even face-to-face. Now, former Karnataka Chief Minister and JDS leader Kumaraswamy too has gone on to, in a series of tweets, gone on to say that his father H.D. Devegowda, when he was the Prime Minister of India too, was mocked and ridiculed many times for not being able to speak fluently in Hindi. And he's also gone on to say he was forced to make a speech in Hindi at the Red Fort, and he's also expanded this debate much larger, saying that people from the South are losing out on many employment opportunities too because of not being able to speak Hindi, and there is a preference, there is a bias that even central government is practicing towards Hindi and those who can fluently speak in Hindi. We will continue tracking the story very, very closely because this is something many people feel strongly about, and last couple of days many have come out and spoken, and once again the debate has begun about whether Hindi should not be given the kind of importance it is being given, whether there are governments, state and central, who are trying to push Hindi as opposed to other languages. This is something we will track very, very closely here at the News Minute. Our final story for today is from the state of Andhra Pradesh, where today Jagan government has released its industrial policy. where they have spoken about some of the features that they will try to implement over the next few days. It's a 22-page policy. Of course, my colleague Mithun has broken it down for you, has simplified it, and has put out several articles on our website to make you understand and simplify what exactly this industrial policy really talks about. But in a nutshell, Andhra Pradesh industrial policy really talks about ease on doing business with quicker approval for projects. It also talks about making sure that they hire locally so that employment is created for locals. And it also talks about setting up industrial clusters and parks by easing up conversion of land for industrial purposes. There has been a debate in the state of Andhra Pradesh over 3 capital issue. Now this too will be linked to that, whether all of this put together will mean uniform development for the state of Andhra Pradesh, or will it again hamper the development of the state? Will there be chaos, or will this actually ensure that no one region gets undue importance? These are developing stories that we will continue tracking very, very closely. Thank you so much for joining us once again. And tomorrow morning at 10:30, we will come back to you with the latest updates from the South. We will continue tracking all these stories and more. Do join us once again tomorrow. This is Pooja Prasanna signing off for the News Minute.